everyone! So today I have a tutorial for you all. It's going to be focusing on how to use the SeneGence Shadow Sense as a concealer and as an eyeshadow primer with powder eyeshadows. As you guys know, I am a huge makeup addict and I had and still have quite a large collection, particularly of eyeshadows, and I've been experimenting lately with using the Shadow Sense products with the powder eyeshadows to increase longevity, and to be honest, it's the best eye primer that I've found so far. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this tutorial. So first of all, I've got moisturizer on my skin at the moment, but I'm going to use the Silk Pore and Wrinkle Minimizing Primer from SeneGence. And I'm just using one pump of that, and I'm just going to spread that on my skin just in downwards motions. Now, my eyes are a little bit dark at the moment, so I'm going to use the SeneGence Eye Illuminator. This one is just a mix of eye cream and their product called Pearlizer, and it actually just helps to brighten the under eye area. I like to use this under my foundation so it gives a subtle highlight and doesn't look sparkly. And this works as skincare too, because it's an anti-aging eye cream too. And you can see how much brightness that actually adds to the eyes. It does a really good job, and it's especially good if you're not wearing any makeup during the day. It just kind of brightens up that area and makes it look nice and fresh. So I'm going to start out with my concealing. I'm going to be using Candlelight Shadow Sense and a little bit of Whisper Pink. Usually Candlelight is a good shade for me when I have a little bit more of a tan as a concealer, but I'm quite pale at the moment. I've spent a lot of time indoors this summer, so I'm going to use a little bit of a mixture of both. But Candlelight's fantastic for cancelling out dark circles because it's got that really peachy tone to it, so it helps to cancel out any kind of darkness, any blue tones, any purples under the eyes. So the way I'm going to do that is just dot it on. And I'm just going to blend it with a Real Techniques setting brush. Now I'm using that all over the lid as well because it works really nicely as a primer. There we go. And you can see the difference that makes from one side to the other. It just evens everything out, and it's crease proof, so when it's under the eyes as a concealer it doesn't crease up. And I'm just going to do that on the other side. And with whatever is left over on my brush, I'm just going to conceal my broken capillaries around my nose. I have really bad allergies, so not necessary for everyone, but necessary for me. And for my skin, I'm just taking one pump of the light tinted moisturizer from SeneGence. I'm just going to dot that on and spread it. And I'm just using a Marc Jacobs flat top brush. Now this tinted moisturizer actually has really, really great coverage. It's a CC tinted moisturizer, so it does color correct as well, particularly if you have a lot of redness to your skin. It works really well under other foundations as well. And I have tried it with my my Cover FX custom cover drops, and it works really nicely with that, and it still stays waterproof and crease proof even when you mix a drop or two of the custom cover drops in. But I don't want that much coverage today, so I'm just going with the tinted moisturizer. And I'm just going to take a little bit of the SeneGence Blush Sense. This one is in Toasted Rose. Okay, so I'm just taking a tiny little bit of that. I'm just putting it on with my MAC 130 brush. This is a really great, really natural looking cream blush as well. This colour is amazing. And it suits my skin tones because it's got a little bit of a cool kind of plummy tone to it. So it looks like a natural blush. Now I'm just going to take the SeneGence loose powder. I'm just using it with a Marc Jacobs brush because I like this brush better, but it does come with its own brush, so it is really handy for travel. I really like this because it's really nice and matte. So I have two powders that I have kind of regularly rotating through, and that's the La Prairie powder and this powder. The La Prairie isn't quite as matte as this one. Okay, so I'm just applying that all over to set. I'm going to apply it over my lids as well. But this Shadow Sense doesn't need setting, but I like the way that powder makes it even, makes everything easy to blend on top of the Shadow Sense as well when I'm using powder shadows. Because I'm going to do a slightly darker eye, I'm actually going to do a more natural brow, so I'm going to use my Hourglass brow pencil. This one's just a little bit more natural than the Shadow Sense I usually use, but it's not waterproof. And this reminds me how much I need to actually get my brows tinted, because they're not fantastic at the moment. And I'm just combing that out as well. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette and NARS Bengali eyeshadow because I love it. And my two go-to brushes from MAC, the 217 and the 239. The 239 I'm going to use to kind of place colours, and the 217 I'm going to use to blend. So I'm going to start out with Luscious all over the lid. It's just this kind of taupey shimmery shade. And I'm just patting that on. This palette smells amazing. I've only used it a few times because I've been predominantly using this Shadow Sense colours, but I love how these shadows smell, and they apply really nicely. But I did notice when I was using them with the MAC 24/7 Eye Base, they were creasing a little bit, but with the Shadow Sense underneath, they haven't been. Go. I'm going to apply a little bit of that under the eye as well, just to bring everything together. And I'm taking a little bit of Charmed, I'm Sure, which is this really nice kind of matte mid-tone brown, and I'm just popping that in the outer corner and just along the lash line a little. This is just a really simple eye. Just to show you that you can get a lot of pigmentation from these shadows when you use them over the Shadow Sense, and to show you how multi-purpose the Shadow Sense actually is. Just blending that out. This Charmed, I'm Sure colour makes a really, really great crease colour as well. Taking a little bit more of that just under the eye on the outer corner. And I'm just taking a little bit of Puree, which is a little bit of a warmer brown, another matte colour, and I'm just popping that through the crease. So for anybody with blue eyes out there, The Sweet Peach palette from Too Faced is really, really great for you. It'll bring out the blue in your eyes because all of the colours are really warm. And again, taking some of that colour just under the eye. Now I'm going to take some NARS Bengali, which is my all-time favourite dark brown. It's just this perfect dark brown. It's just matte and super dark. And I'm going to take that with my 239. I'm just going to press that along the lash line. Again, taking that 217 blending brush and just blending it in. Now you've probably noticed in all of my videos there are cockatoos in the background. For some reason, a whole flock of them have taken up residence in our yard, in the tree in our yard. They're always here. There we go. I'm just going to continue to deepen that up until I'm happy with it. Go. Just a little under the eyes as well. And now I'm going to take a little bit of the SeneGence Eye Sense, which is just their liquid liner. I'm going to pop that on and give myself a little bit of a wing. Just like the lip sense, this is actually waterproof and smudge proof and everything, so it stays on a really long time. And then I'm going to use my favourite combination for mascara at the moment because it stays on and looks super, super, super long. I'm going to use the SeneGence Undersense with my favourite mascara, which is the Dior Iconic Overcurl. The Undersense is a lash primer, so it helps to kind of lengthen and strengthen your lashes before putting the mascara on. And it works really well. While the Undersense is drying, I'm just going to use a little bit of Onyx Shadow Sense just on my waterline, just to kind of darken the eyes up a little bit. And because they're waterproof, they just stay in the lash line. I don't have to worry about them sinking into my inner corners and outer corners because they're not wax based, so they don't kind of melt throughout the day. There we go, and now that the Undersense is dry, I'm just going to pop on my mascara. And you can see how massive this makes my lashes. And I don't have massive lashes. For a very long time, I was getting lash extensions every couple of weeks because I hated mine. But this just makes such a huge difference. And just some mascara underneath. Now I'm going to apply some lip sense. I don't wear any other lipstick anymore, so it's pretty much what you're getting in my tutorials from now on. But I'm going to combine two different colours. I am going to go with the combination that I wore yesterday, which is Pumpkin Spice and Pink Champagne. One of them is this really quite bronzy colour, and then the other is this really nice pale pink. I might change it up a little bit and wear one coat of the Pumpkin Spice and, well, 2 coats of the Pink Champagne. Lip sense should always be applied in 3 layers, always thin layers, and build up the colour, and that's what keeps it on for so long. Now always apply to clean dry lips. I'm just using a little bit of Witch Hazel on a cotton pad to clean my lips off. I've got a little bit of lip balm and foundation and everything all over my lips. So your lips do have to be clean and dry before you use these. There we go. Now I'm giving my colours a really good shake. And I'm going to start out with the pumpkin spice. I'm just wiping off the applicator before I apply. And I go in one direction all the way along. I don't go backwards and forwards because that can remove the pigment. So one direction all the way along, thin layers, letting it dry in between. There you go. And 2 layers of the pink champagne once this dries a little bit. Oh, I love this colour! Okay. Let that dry. There we go. And I'm just going to apply my glossy gloss. There we go, so you can see the wand is white. And the wand is still white. It blows my mind every single time, but I love it. It's so exciting to me, I don't know why. I adore this lip colour. I wore a similar one yesterday. It was 2 layers of pumpkin spice and 1 layer of pink champagne, and I loved that too. I actually posted a picture of it on my Facebook page. I've got the link in the down bar. But I absolutely adored that, but I love this even more. It looks awesome. It's pink champagne is honestly my favorite layering color. It works well with absolutely everything. Anyway, I have decided that I'm going to do a little bit of a pack for the people on my Facebook page. So head on over. I will have posted the pack before I post this video to make it easier, and it will have like all the products you need for a perfect base, and I'll do that on discount as well. So yeah, I should probably take my hair out because it always looks better with hair out. There we go, so hair is out. That always looks 1,000 times better. Okay, so this is the final look. This was kind of just a quick tutorial to show you how to use SeneGence as a concealer and as an eyeshadow base for your powder eyeshadows. You can see there's no creasing at all. I've been wearing the SeneGence with powder eyeshadows for a little while now, and I don't get any creasing at all. The best thing is it comes in several different colors, so you can actually use a colored shadow as a base. A very similar color to that Luscious Peach that I used all over the lid, which is pretty much the most popular color that I stock. That is the Mocha Java Shimmer, and it's this really nice kind of taupe shimmer color. So you can use that all over the lid and then deepen it up with the NARS color or anything like that. But I thought that this would be an interesting tutorial for some of you, because I know that I got a lot of interest after my last video, and I know that not everybody is going to use all one brand of product and cut over from one brand all the way over to another. So these kinds of tutorials I think are very useful for beauty junkies like myself who like to still use other brands and things like that. The only exception I think to that rule for me is the LipSense. I haven't used a different kind of lip product since I actually found LipSense, so go figure. I never thought I'd ever say that, but I only use one brand now. That is pretty much astounding to me, just because I had, like, you guys know, I was always on the hunt for the perfect lip balm, and I was always on the hunt for the, like, perfect lip color and stuff like that, and far out, I went through so many drying lipsticks, and my lips just don't get chapped anymore. It's honestly just amazing to me, but I love it. For those of you who don't like glossy lipstick, there is a matte gloss as well. I can show you what it looks like, because I know that the glossy look is not for everyone. So there is a matte gloss as well, and that goes on and mattifies everything. Very cool. But yeah, lots of different options for everybody, I think. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Very simple look, but using some very nice kind of peachy kind of colours. NARS Bengali, always going to be my favourite brown eyeshadow. And some SeneGence products. I've just recently gotten into that liquid liner and it's amazing. The brush on it is super thin as well, so it's really easy to use. But the ShadowSense colours are really great for using as primers for the eyelids. Also really great for using as concealer under the eyes because it just covers everything up. So you can use that all over the face, and all of the pigments are graded for all over the face, so you can do that with no problems. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye! Definitely prefer the darker brows.